Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we run down all the top stories and exciting announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. And last week was a pretty damn busy week, filled with a whole bunch of things, including some updates from our side. In fact, we're going to give you an exclusive announcement. I believe we should just put it out there and get it in. It'll probably be on the website within the next week or two, but we'll throw it out there just for our podcast listeners. But we'll kick off with our news, of course, as we usually do. Last week we actually introduced a new feature on Stacked. It's something we'd been working on for a while, and we thought it would be pretty cool. We'd throw it to a few brands, and they kind of liked it. So I think it was around about a year ago, we introduced a trending brand section, or kind of like a hot brand section, where we would have sort of the top 3 momentum brands, or brands with momentum, and they're companies that really have just been pumping out a lot of releases, a lot of flavors, a lot of excitement, have a lot of hype, getting a lot of views on the website. And so we had a section where basically the 3 brands with the most sort of momentum would go in there, and it changes from every few days. And so we've now introduced a categories thing, and this is a little more automated. Basically, it's kind of the same concept, where you get a list of 5 categories, and they're ranked 1 to 5, and it basically tells you the most popular categories, or at least the busiest categories is a better way of describing it. And so basically every time we share a story, if it's about a pre-workout, let's just say that gives you 1 point. And then if it's a gaming, 1 point there, and every post about every product. So every news story we have that touches a certain category gets a kind of a point. And this little featured section or trending section, which now sits above the trending brands thing, it lists them off, and it updates pretty much every day, I believe, almost every time we share a story, and that kind of gives you those categories. And I think it's a nice way to just show you sort of, probably for brands and consumers, just to let you know kind of what categories are being hit pretty quite more common than the others, I guess. The current standing right now as we do this podcast, you've got pre-workout, protein powder, amino, protein bar, and then gaming. I think that's a pretty cool thing to just be able to go and see, and just sort of, because we share news stories every time we see a teaser, a reveal, and a release. And so it's pretty accurate, and I think it's a good way to just show the trending categories, because obviously fat burner was a very popular category, still is obviously, but fat burner's not seen as many releases, whereas in that top 5 you've got gaming now. So I think it's a cool thing to see. And just fun to be able to scroll down. So if you go to the site, scroll down, I think it's like 2-3 posts, maybe 4, and in that little it stands out. It's got a little title that says trending categories and brands, and that's where you can find it, and you can sort of slide it across and see what brands fall in there and what categories do. I think it's a pretty cool little feature. Glad I finally added it. But the other little bit we're going to include or announce on the podcast, and this is something that I believe we are announcing, I think October. Our Brand of the Year awards are obviously coming up in December. We save them until like right at the end of the year, because I like to give brands a chance to launch something, whether it be on December 31st and change the industry potentially, and that be counted. So our Brand of the Year award is announced in the first week of January, but before that, we have our subcategories, or our sort of minor ones, and that includes Functional Brand of the Year, International Brand of the Year, and Newcomer of the Year. And all of those were introduced not last year, the year before. So we've had them going for 2 years now, and they will, of course, be a part of the Brand of the Year campaign this year. But it always bugged me, because I just like the idea of having 5 categories in total, the overall brand and those 3 new ones. And so this year we're actually adding one. We've always thought about doing it. We're going to add a new one. And I think it's very important right now, just with the current trend in the market, with the categories brands are entering and whatnot. But we're doing Beverage Brand of the Year. Now, this is going to be based on the same kind of thing that we have with the other ones. So if you're not familiar, our brand of the year and functional, a newcomer and international, they're all kind of based on how active a company is throughout the year. It's all based on pretty much what I've always liked to see from supplement companies, me personally. And this goes for brands, not necessarily even supplements, and a lot of things. I like to see supplement companies, I like to see them pull out consistent releases, keep me excited, keep me on the lookout, keep improving things, keeping my attention throughout the year, and whether that be special edition flavors, limited time variants, all new supplements, cool branding, fun marketing, great campaigns, good deals, everything in between, and all the brands that we've picked over the years are reflections of that, and the subcategories of awards that we have are based on that too, and the Beverage brand of the year is going to be based on that as well. But I will mention that we are going to have like a bit of a twist there. So if you are a supplement company and you have been dynamite in Beverage, they do have the chance of winning that. It's very much like our functional brand of the year award. We've had companies, Bombard won that one last year, but at the same time, it was outright before them, but Bombard won the category, the award last year. Interestingly, they do make sports supplements, they do make apparel, they do make protein powder, so they're not entirely a functional brand, but they took it home because they've got a great functional approach. And that will be very similar to our Beverage Brand of the Year award. And we're not going to announce, I guess, who the nominees are, who are running, but I guess if you know the things we look for, as I just mentioned, a lot of brands come to mind. Few of them not exactly entirely dedicated beverage brands, but as per usual, we'll be announcing the nominees. I think we do that in November or December. I think it's in November. We usually announce the nominees the week prior, then announce the winner the next week, and then also during that week we do the nominees for another category, and then so on and so on. Just drag it out, make it fun. But yeah, so it should be a fun thing to do. I look forward to seeing who wins. And this, like I said, it will be announced on the website, but I thought it would be a nice little thing to add in to the podcast. But we now move forward to the focus or the intention of the podcast, that's to catch everyone up on the exciting announcements shared on the website last week, and we're going to kick things off with Performax Labs, who revealed the formula behind its new and improved Vasomax. Now, this is one of the first supplements the brand plans on launching after its recent rebrand and relaunch. Now, for those that missed it, Performax Labs basically relaunched with a fresh new look, very different to its previous one, and it launched with 3 supplements only, and that was Hypermax, Alphamax, and Massmax. And if you know Performax, you know they have a mountain of different supplements. Stimmax, they have an amino, they have a protein powder, and they have a pump pre-workout, Vasomax. Those aren't going anywhere. Performax is basically doing a bit of a gradual relaunch. So instead of dropping revamped, rebranded versions of everything alongside Hypermax, it's decided to drop them kind of on a gradual basis. Vasomax is the next one, the first one to come after that debut relaunch led by Hypermax, and very much like with Hypermax, not so much Massmax and Alphamax, which had tweaks made to them. Performax has made a few changes to Vasomax, most notably really making it a dedicated pump pre-workout. So if you remember the previous version, they had focus ingredients in there as well, so it kind of make it if you taking the product for just a purely stimulant-free basis, a pre-workout without stims, having those focus ingredients there alongside pump is kind of helpful, because it gives you that gives you more than just pumps, and it gives you a nice boost experience, more to offer really outside of since the stimulants aren't there. For the new Vasomax, Performax has kind of changed that, and it's gone the way I kind of prefer, to be honest. I do like, it's not very often, if at all, that I take a pre-workout without stims by itself. And typically what I do, I like the dedicated pump ones anyway. And so for the new Vasomax, Performax has basically dropped the focus ingredients and made it entirely about pumps. So everything in this one is there to enhance pumps. It hasn't kept any focus ingredients like the last version. And this is kind of it's a pretty notable, pretty well worth knowing change to the product, because if you were obviously taking it for that added focus and pump without the stims, then it's going to be different. But if you're taking it for just the pumps, or even just stacking it with Hypermax to get those extra pumps, that is going to be a bit better in this one. So the revamp formula it coincides nicely with Hypermax. So you get 6 grams of 3D pump in this one, which is also in the full serving of Hypermax. So combined, you're going to get 12 grams of the two. You also get 2 grams of taurine, 1.5 of nitrosamine. Vaso 6 is in there at 300 milligrams. Then you get Himalayan sea salt at 250, 50 milligrams of S7, 200 milligrams of glutathione, and then to enhance absorption, there is 50 milligrams of estrogen. So again, it is all about pumps. It's only really got the main ingredients are all for pumps. It's not a hybrid focused pump product like the previous one. And the goal was to really, very obviously, for Performax to make this a better, more pump orientated pre-workout, and still not including any stimulants. And I think based on the label, it looks like they've done that. We actually have a trial tub of it. I think we're going to be giving it a test run this weekend next, and we'll probably get the review out when we can. But I remember the last version of Hypermax, and we noted that pumps were a bit down. They were it had great stimulation, great performance and endurance, but the pumps were lacking. And then the idea was, well, you could add Vasomax, and that was kind of a cool thing. That it's good with a lot of pre-workouts that raise the bar in one area. Obviously, you can't necessarily always raise the bar in every area, and so to have these 2 pre-workouts, which is an approach which wasn't that common at all that many, I guess 5 to 6 years ago, but now 2 pre-workouts is a very, very common thing. And there are brands even with 3 pre-workouts, such as Supplement Needs. But yeah, I think it's a nice approach, and I wouldn't be surprised. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Performax has something up its sleeve, because if you are familiar with the regular line, or the line before the rebrand, Performax had Nootropimax, which is its dedicated focus supplement that had stimulants in it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to, because again, they're tweaking that from what I know, or they're tweaking a lot of the products that we're relaunching and bringing back. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got that tweaked to maybe mix in with this one. Performax is a very advanced, very well thought out and formulated brand, so it kind of makes sense that maybe they took the focus out of Vaso, put it into full on Nootropimax. Maybe they're going to do a flavored version I don't know, it would be cool to see that. But for now, Vasomax is the one that's coming. Sorry to get everyone excited about what could come, but Vasomax is the next one that's coming. I believe it's launching within the next week or so. I'm assuming there'll be an introductory deal, because they had that with the new Hypermax, Alpha, and Massmax. And if they go the way that they did on their previous website before the rebrand, they had stacks that come pre-discounted when you buy the products together. And there was obviously one with Hyper and Vaso, so don't be surprised if you see that in there as well, in a nice blend where you can get the 2 together at discounts, even if you're not buying during the introductory sale. You can check that out on the website. We've got the full breakdown of the formula. We now shoot to the topic of Beverage, right off following on from that Beverage Brand of the Year announcement. We had the full reveal and unveiling last week of the all-new Bang energy drink flavor, and it was kind of what I expected. It is a chocolate flavor. So not what I expected, what I guessed, one of the wild guesses I put out there and thought about. It is a chocolate flavor called Whole Lotta Chocolata. Now, this is indeed a carbonated chocolate-flavored energy drink. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. I've seen some weird flavors. And I remember in Finland they have black licorice as a popular flavor. I remember trying a black licorice energy drink. I remember sipping it twice, and that was it. So I've had some weird energy drink flavors out there, but this credit to Bang for doing something different, for doing something to get your attention. Because I can imagine that even if someone doesn't like chocolate, even if someone doesn't like the idea of a chocolate energy drink, And even if it's someone who absolutely loves the idea, I just get the sense that everyone's going to want to buy this at least once. And with Bang, who has a mountain of different flavors and one for everyone, no doubt this kind of is just a nice, I think it's a really cool way to get interest. I mean, like I said, it probably, I imagine that if I come across it, I'm going to try it. And that probably the case with a lot of people. I've spoken to a few people that said the same thing. A lot of the comments on the Instagram post that we share were kind of saying that it's a very interesting, it didn't appeal to them. Some say they'll give it a go. So it's credit to Bang for doing something different. That's what they're known for. I did say in our original post that when Bang puts out teasers and it was brown and orange color theme, you can't guess these things. If it's if it's like a pinky red and green, sometimes you think watermelon, and that is the case with Bang's wild and watermelon flavor. But sometimes you end up with completely different, like I said, when they did the birthday cake bash, when they did rainbow unicorn, both flavors that you just wouldn't have seen coming. Radical Skedaddle's another one, you wouldn't have guessed the name or the taste, and even though the colors coincide on the whole lot of chocolate Bang, I mean, chocolate wasn't one that came to mind. I was just sort of throwing it out there with the brown color and didn't think it was going to happen. But so that is now out there. You can get it from the Bang website. And if you give it a try, definitely hit me up on social media. Send Stack a message. I'll be very interested to hear the feedback and what kind of experience you're looking at. We now shoot from Bang to another very popular brand, one that's had a great year, and that is our reigning brand of the year, and that is Ghost. And so the news this week, following on the massive announcement of its debut protein RTD, which is, I believe, had a limited launch last week, which you can find out more on the website about, even though it's been and gone. And still, I think it's getting an official launch soon. But Ghost came out and, Ghost didn't, Max Tuning did. He announced this year's collaboration. So, much like Christian Guzman, Ghost has teamed up with Max Tuning. It's one of its original ambassadors and representatives for special edition flavors year after year. The first year it did it, I believe the flavor was mango margarita for the brand's stimulant pre-workout Ghost Legend. There after that, then we got strawberry daiquiri. And then last year we were treated to sour pink lemonade. Now, Ghost fans will know that at the start of the year, Ghost updated its stimulant pre-workout from the original Ghost Legend to Legend V2. Now, for Max Tuning's fourth run of collaboration, so this is the fourth year in a row he's got them, they're not necessarily doing an entirely new flavor. So they're actually bringing back two previous flavors, but they've, adapted it to the new Ghost Legend V2 formula. So you get all the benefits of the new and improved pre-workout with those flavors that people enjoyed so much from previous years. And it's not the most recent two either. So they've brought back, I believe it is, let me just double check, sour pink lemonade, so the flavor we got last year, and mango margarita, both for Ghost Legend V2. So the one they're missing is obviously the year in between, a strawberry daiquiri. In addition to this, Ghost has put together those two flavors for its stimulant-free and still number one rated pump pre-workout, Ghost Pump. So it's a nice, technically it is kind of all new flavors, because these are both flavors fans have not experienced for Ghost Pump but have for Ghost Legend. So yeah, they're going to be all launching. I believe the launch date is October 6th of October, so Wednesday of next week, and they'll be launching at the same time, all limited edition, and pretty cool to see. I like the stacking approach, kind of adding the flavor, expanded it out, because as a fan of pre-workout stacking, I do like mixing things and getting different results, but it never usually pans out as well as I think it's going to in my head. So when you get pre-workouts within a brand that have the same flavor, it's much more enjoyable than the risk of it turning out not so great. And the fact that you got Ghost Pump and Ghost Legend in the same Max Tuning flavor should make it a nice stack. and great for fans, obviously, who liked them in the previous years, and excited to have them come back. The last story we have to round out the episode, as I said, a lot happened last week, is Arms Race Nutrition. They came out and basically confirmed by Doug Miller, who's one of the guys behind the brand, along with Julian Smith. Doug Miller likes to get news out there, put tips, get excitement, and that is exactly what he did this past week. He announced like 5 supplements that are coming, they're in the works with Arms Race Nutrition, and I've been very impressed with Arms Race this year. As I said, it's from Doug Miller, who also is the guy behind Core Nutritionals. It feels like Arms Race is having a year similar to what Core Nutritionals had last year, of course without the big transition to the new look. They've been pumping things out, flavor extensions, flavor series, new categories. Don't forget the basic series. They've been pretty impressive, and they've done it consistently. Arms Race wasn't really forgotten, but it was at its usual speed last year. Now they've almost applied the core speed and efficiency that they did last year to Arms Race, and they've just been pumping things out. And again, on top of everything that they've launched this year, Doug Miller's come out and confirmed 5 other supplements and products that are in the works for Arms Race Nutrition, and that list includes a vegan-friendly protein powder. So this will be the 3rd protein powder from the brand, in addition to its original foundation, the blend protein powder, and then the whey isolate-powered elevation. We don't have names for most of these. There is also going to be a meal replacement or gainer, something higher calories and with carbohydrates outside of the protein powders, which are of course lower in protein and carbohydrates and fat. They're also doing a flavored version of their Focus Formula Clarity, and then there's also going to be a sleep product called Night Night. And the 5th one is actually something that we had confirmed previously, and that was a protein bar. So the protein bar was talked about, I think it was back in January. They said they were working on something, so that is still in the works. It's still very much coming, and something to look forward to. I think they were just saying that obviously when you're working on something for so long, you want to perfect it like Doug Miller knows how to. Things like that take time, especially protein bars. I remember when they did the protein balls from Core Nutritionals, those took a while to perfect and get right. So I definitely suspect that's the case here. He's just trying to get it to exactly what they want. But for more details and breakdown on all the stories, just head to the website as per usual. Search away, find the images and stories. But as per usual, stay tuned to the website. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you back next week.